A lot of people claim that this 3-fund ETF portfolio that YouTubers recommend is unbeatable. We're going to look at 7 portfolios that beat it right now. First up, the S&P 500. You heard me right. Let's just start with $10,000 invested about 30 plus years ago and put in $1,800 every quarter and see what we get. As you can see, the S&P 500 has beaten the YouTube 3-fund ETF portfolio, so why waste your time investing in 3 different ETFs when you can invest in just the S&P 500, have the exact same risk profile, the exact same volatility, exact same max drawdown within a little rounding error? Why do it? Well, that's a good question. Next up, the 70-30 growth trend. So 70% stocks, US growth stocks, and 30% managed futures index. KMLM is one of the oldest managed futures index, so we'll go with that. 70-30 growth trend smokes the YouTube 3-fund ETF portfolio. Look at that. Much better max drawdown, much better volatility, much better money-weighted rate of return, much better CAGR, much better Sharpe ratio, much better Sortino ratio, just much better all around. All right, let's see if we can go down to 60% equities and still beat it. So we've got the Golden 60-40 portfolio. So 60% in the S&P 500, 40% in gold. Let's go. All right, once again, we've beaten the YouTube 3-fund ETF portfolio, this time with just 2 funds. And look at that max drawdown. Only about 35%. Volatility is crazy low. We've got a great Sharpe ratio, a great Sortino. It's wonderful. Look at that. All right. Moving on to our next contender, the Golden Buffett. What's the Golden Buffett? 90% in the S&P 500 and 10% in gold. So kind of a variation of the one that we just did, but we're putting more in stocks. How does this one fare? Actually worse than the 60-40 golden one, but still beats the YouTube 3-fund ETF portfolio with a much better max drawdown, much better volatility, much better Sharpe, everything. Awesome. All right. So what about the 90-10 trendsetter? Just a special spin on the one we just did, but instead of gold, we're doing an index fund for managed futures. So let's see what happens. All right, so this one's a little bit interesting. We actually slightly underperformed the YouTube 3-fund ETF portfolio, but look at the Sharpe ratio. This technically beats it, especially with that starting money, look, because it's better risk-adjusted returns, and it's kind of neck and neck. So, better risk-adjusted, still beats it. All right, so let's look at an actual 3-fund ETF portfolio with 0 overlap now, an actual one. Got it? So we've done the Golden 60-40. We've done, I forgot one, the 60-40 growth value. So this one does 60% growth, large cap, and 40% small cap value. Let's see how this one does. Oh, it absolutely creams the YouTube 3-fund ETF portfolio. Look at that. Similar risk profile, but more returns, so it's got a higher Sharpe. Awesome. Now let's go to our actual 3-fund ETF portfolio without overlap. And why do I call it an actual one? Because the one recommended on YouTube actually has a lot of overlap between the funds. Contrary to popular belief, a large cap stock can be both growth and value at the same time. And if you have a whole stock market index fund, then it's going to contain everything in your growth fund and in your value fund too. So the actual three-fund ETF portfolio with zero overlap that I'm going to show you right now is a third in large cap growth, a third in small cap value, and the forgotten middle child, a third in mid cap momentum. Let's see what this one does. Ooh, absolutely beats the YouTube three-fund ETF portfolio once again. So there you go. 7 contenders, 6 of them beat in both risk-adjusted and absolute returns, and one of them is neck and neck with the YouTube three-fund ETF portfolio, but still beats it in risk-adjusted returns. So there you go. If you like that and you want to learn more about Boglehead investing or my own personal Miller momentum strategy, be sure to like and subscribe. Leave me questions in the comments and check out the other videos on my channel. I look forward to digitally making your acquaintance very soon.